You know, if you're starting to spot these subtle signs, just keep moving a little further. You're not drifting off course. You're shifting into a different version of yourself. There comes a quiet moment in every man's life where the world doesn't really lose its noise, yet something inside you stops responding to it. The people who once fed your confidence disappear. The praise that once pushed you forward sounds a little empty. The applause, it fades, the same way all illusions do. And yet, you keep rising. Still walking. Still choosing the calm of silence over the comfort of approval. Why? Because you finally stepped off the soft path and onto the honest one. Seneca said, "If a man doesn't know his destination, no wind can help him." But once you figure out where you're headed, the storms start teaching you. Resistance becomes a strange kind of fuel. Silence turns into something you almost protect. Progress isn't measured by how easy things feel. It's measured by how much you endure. So, when doubt creeps in, when loneliness stings, when your old world starts fading, that's not the end. That's the signal. You're peeling away the old layer, the version of you that lived for acceptance. Marcus Aurelius said to simply do what's right, because the rest doesn't matter much. People start drifting away. You feel misunderstood more often than not. But we don't bend for comfort. We bend only for truth. This path isn't crowded. It's shadows, echoes, and a small handful of people who carry the same fire. The right road often feels like the loneliest one. But if you wake up and keep choosing discipline over ease, principles over attention, and depth over distraction, listen closely. You're not breaking. You're becoming. You stop chasing shallow pleasures. The things that once thrilled you now feel like they drain you. The cheap hits, the empty wins, the noise, none of it feeds you anymore. You start craving stillness, substance, something with weight. Validation from the outside stops mattering because you've entered a different war, the war inside your own mind. Epictetus warned that no one can grow while believing they already know everything. So, you start unlearning. Unlearning the false ideas of success. Unlearning the lies about pleasure. Unlearning the shortcuts people sell as life. When entertainment starts to bore you, when comfort feels like a trap, that's not you breaking down. That's you being purified. The emptiness you feel is actually space. Space for something higher to rise. You begin attracting silence instead of attention. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand your stillness. Because you finally recognize silence isn't a lack, it's mastery. The world loves noise, but anyone who has suffered and grown knows that real storms move quietly. Seneca said to walk with people who make you better. And as you move forward, you'll notice fewer and fewer people keeping up with you. Not because you're losing them, but because they simply can't follow where you're going. That's not loneliness. That's elevation. So, if the distance between you and the world keeps widening, good. You're not turning cold, you're becoming clear. You stop reacting to everything. Not because you're numb, but because you're wiser now. Disrespect doesn't control you. Chaos doesn't shake you. You breathe. You watch. You absorb. Because power doesn't scream, it observes. Epictetus said it's not what happens, but how you respond that defines you. And when you can face the storm without moving, without flinching, that's not emptiness. That's control. That's strength. That's the beginning of someone untouchable. So, if life feels heavy, if you're alone, if people doubt you, if you feel unseen, good. That's what transformation feels like before it makes sense. Now isn't the moment to turn back. Now is the moment to turn inward and rise. You weren't made to be liked. You were made to be unshakable.